Folks, the markets are looking treacherous yet again today. It's currently around 11:30 a.m. when I'm making this video. I'm not sure when you're watching this video, but overall, we have the Russell down 1% right now. The NASDAQ is up 0.4. The S&P is down 0.3 as the Dow's down 0.6, and we have the VIX up another 2.5%. So in this video, we're going to break down all the indexes. We'll probably break down some gold and silver, maybe even some oil as well. Mostly focusing on the charts like we always do here on this channel. So if y'all like that type of content, hit that like button and feel free to subscribe and get yourself some free money. Who doesn't like free money? Up to 15 stocks from Moomoo, each up to $2,000. All the details are down below. You might as well get 12 stocks from Webull as well with any amount deposited. Also linked down below. And with that being said, guys, cheers. Let's dive right into the video. So if you all been watching the markets, you probably know the past couple of days and really the past couple of weeks have been pretty rocky. Let's just say that. We've been consolidating for the most part, but we've been making some decent moves up and down as we've been trading overall in a horizontal channel, at least on the S&P 500. You guys can see here, if I pull the 20-day chart up, we've been trading pretty sideways between 405 to about 415-ish. And again, there's been a lot of volatility within that range, but it's been a sideways range nonetheless. You guys can see that here on the 20-day chart and on the 4-hour chart as well. If I zoom in a little bit, you guys can see it's actually been more than just a couple of weeks. It's been almost a month and a half at this point. We've been trading between 405 to about 415-ish on SPY, and Triple Q is a little bit different because this did break out of the ascending triangle that we called out a couple videos ago. You guys probably remember that. So we did take out 320, which was a good sign for the bulls, but on the longer term time frames, this is still at a big resistance, which we'll talk about here in a second. Despite it hitting a high right now on the 4-hour chart today, literally when I'm making this video, it's up 0.4%. It looks like it hit 328.57. That's great, but we're still at a big resistance on the larger time frames, which I did talk about a little bit yesterday. We'll talk about that again later in this video. But overall, guys, right now the markets are at a very pivotal spot. We all know what's going on with inflation, with the interest rates, with the bond market, right? We're not going to get too deep into that in this video, but there's a lot going on right now, and there's a lot of speculation that we're not going to get rate cuts anytime soon. Maybe we do at some point. I don't know. There's a lot of back and forth on that, and it all comes down to inflation and how the economy ends up performing over the next couple of quarters. There's a lot of people out there predicting that the unemployment rate is going to go over 10%. I think I was watching a Patrick Bet David podcast episode yesterday with George Gammon and some other guy that is a crypto guy. I forget his name, honestly. I forget. What the heck's that guy's name? I forget. Either way, they were talking about, George Gammon in particular was talking about how he thinks the unemployment rate's going to go up to 15% or something crazy by the end of this year or early next year, which I don't necessarily agree with, considering right now it's at 3.5%. But think about that for a second. If the unemployment rate were to go up to 15%, that is going to be absolute destruction overall for the economy. The amount of people that would be unemployed at that point would be insane, and that would really bring down inflation. Jerome Powell would really get the job done if that were to happen, but think about the destruction if that were to happen. Think about how many people would be suffering, how many families wouldn't be able to pay their mortgage, their rent, their utilities, how much, buy now, pay later is going to explode because they're going to have to put everything on payment plans, right? So I don't know where I'm really going with that, but overall, there's a lot going on right now, and we have inflation still being sticky. We don't know what's going to happen there. Rate cuts, of course, the markets love rate cuts, but the reality is we're not going to get them anytime soon. But who knows? Maybe if we get that huge unemployment spike, the Fed's going to be forced to cut rates to kind of, stimulate the economy, cool things off. But again, we don't know what the heck's going to happen. There's a reason why they call economists, they're kind of like weathermen, right? Because you don't really know what's going to happen. The predictions could be wrong, and a lot of the time they are wrong. So are we going to get 15% unemployment? Are we going to get 10%? Or is it going to go to 5% and we don't have a crazy recession, right? There's a lot of unknowns right now. There's a lot of ifs, and the stock market is pretty much teeter-tottering, especially the S&P 500. It's been holding pretty pretty steady, like I said, around 405, 415. And if you guys take a look at it, it's been struggling to break 415, 420 for months. Like I talked about in my video yesterday, for months on months on months, it's been failing to break out of that point. And in my opinion, guys, we're not going to get that breakout until we get a very positive catalyst, whether it's on the economy, inflation, interest rates, earnings. It has to be a big catalyst to get this thing to budge out of that resistance, or at least that's what I think. Maybe it's a little mini catalyst that causes it to break out. I don't know. But overall, what I do know is we've been failing to break out of 420 for literally about a year at this point, guys, for one whole year. If you guys take a look, SPY back in May of last year was at 415, 417. Yes, we had that little breakout to 430 in August, but that was very short-lived. And now we're back here at 415, 416, pretty much where we were again about a year ago. So year over year, guys, the S&P 500 is flat, which is interesting looking at it from that perspective, because you realize, holy crap, the returns this year really aren't that good. I mean, yes, the S&P is up on the year. We can see it started off the year at around, where was it? I think 400, actually no, 385, something like that. So all right, so it's up on the year, but it's pretty much flat compared to where it was a year ago. Year to date it's up, but a year ago compared to where it was a year ago, it's flat. So really the markets, guys, have not been doing much of anything. They've been sideways all year essentially, other than that breakout to 430 back in August, but that was short-lived. And Triple Q, if I pull this up, we can see this is pretty much flat as well. Back in August, it hit 330, all right? Back in June of last year, it was at about 315. Now we're at 327. We're barely up over the past 1 year. Sure, year to date, we are up a good amount on Triple Q. We're up around 25%, but compared again to where it was a year ago, not looking so good. I'm not trying to be a doomsdayer, guys, but I'm being honest. The markets it's kind of deceiving. Sure, they're doing very well year to date, but if you pull the layers back a little bit, markets are flat based on the last year. They're pretty much flat based on the last year. And on a 3-year basis, guys, we can see now Triple Q is at where it was back in February of 2021. So over the past 2 years, markets are flat when it comes to Triple Q, and SPY probably as well. Let me take a look at where this was at 2 years ago. Back in March of 2021, a little over 2 years ago, it was where we are now. In other words, we're flat. We're flat over the past years on the 2 years on the S&P 500 and on Triple Q, and we're approaching a major level of resistance here on the 3-year chart based on this channel, and on SPY or Triple Q as well. What we just saw was SPY. This is Triple Q. So this is very alarming, guys. I'm not going to lie. Very alarming. The fact that we're at a big resistance here. Markets are flat over the past 2 years. This could very well be a bear market rally, in my opinion. And let's see if the Dow looks the same. Let's pop the Dow up. The Dow. Let's take a look here, guys. If I get the channel tool out, bear with me here. Pretty much looks the same. Look, we have a clear downwards channel on the Dow. You guys see that? Now we're more towards the top of it, and we're failing to break out of 34,000 points, 34.2, which has been resistance over the past 6, 7, 8 months, and probably the same on the Russell. Yeah, the Russell is not looking too pretty at all, guys. Probably the worst out of all of these. Clearly we're still in a downwards channel. We tried breaking out multiple times over the past, almost year at this point, but we failed time and time again. So yeah, I personally wouldn't get too excited about the year-to-date gains right now. Sure, if you're a long-term investor, who gives a crap, right? If you're looking at 10, 20, 30 years, dollar cost average, and you're going to be fine. That's what I'm doing with some of my money as well. But if you're a trader here, which I'm also a trader, guys, you probably know that. Maybe you didn't know. Now you know. This is something that I'm really looking at, and it's causing me not anxiety or panic. I'm not panicking or I'm not anxious about it, but it's something that I'm fully aware of. And the fact that the VIX is pretty low. It's in the teens right now. It's at 17. We could easily get a spike to the mid-20s on the VIX. I've been saying that for quite some time, even back to 30, and I'm still sticking to that. And if we do get that, you best believe the S&P is going to see a massive dump, probably under 400. We're probably going to start getting rejected at 415. Triple Q is probably going to start getting rejected here at the 330, 325 level. We might start going back down under 300. These are all possibilities. And gold, if you guys take a look at it, gold is at 2,000 an ounce right now, holding pretty steady. Silver is also holding an uptrend at around 23 an ounce. Actually, today silver's down 2%, but still holding an uptrend on this 4-hour chart. So the metals are doing very well. People are flocking to metals. That goes to show maybe people are seeking safe haven assets, or not safe haven, safe haven assets. And the VIX is now up almost 4%. VIX is creeping up. So we have to be mindful of that. Oil's probably creeping up as well. Let me take a look here. Maybe not. Actually, no, it's flat. It looks like it's down 32 a barrel right now, 32 cents a barrel, right around 70 cents, or $70 a barrel rather. So yeah, oil's at a very pivotal spot. Support level here at about $70 a barrel. Who knows? Maybe we get another rally on oil. These are, very interesting times that we're living in. Let's just put it that way, guys. So that's a quick update on the markets. The charts here are some thoughts that I'm having. And again, if you're a long-term investor, guys, who gives a crap about this? I mean, dollar cost averaging is the way to go into index funds for, long-term stuff. And of course, individual stock picking. I do that as well. I'm sure a lot of you guys do that as well. And if you're in that camp, you shouldn't be too worried about this. But if you're a trader, if you're a short-term guy or gal, right, you're looking at the charts, you want to make some moves in the short term, you have to be very mindful of that. And I'm a short-term trader, guys, as well as a long-term investor. You know that. So I'm paying very close attention to these charts. And if you want to see more videos like this, more breakdowns, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hit that like button so I know that you like these types of videos. And you might as well get some free money from Moomoo, up to 15 stocks, each up to $2,000. Once you open up an account using that link down below, or by going to StasSurfest.com/Moomoo, you get one free share of stock right off the bat. And once you fund your account with at least $100, you get 4 more stocks, totaling 5 stocks. And once you fund your account with at least $1,000, you get 10 more stocks, totaling 15 free stocks. So if you guys want some free money and you want to help out the channel, use that Moomoo link down below. And while you're at it, guys, you might as well get up to 12 more stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. All the details are linked down below. Check out my Patreon as well if you guys are interested. And with that being said, cheers, good luck out there, guys. I'll catch you later.